We're here now with Amy Hagerman, our Ag Policy Specialist. Amy, a little bit of progress on the Farm Bill in the form of a listening session with the USDA this week?
Yeah, USDA really opened up for the first time about what the implementation is that they have done so far and what their plans are going forward. Now, it was a listening session, so not a lot of details, but we did get a few hints about where they're at in this process. For example, the Risk Management Agency spoke and they talked about changes in crop insurance. They're already implementing the multi-county enterprise units, and they're considering how they're going to implement the programs where you can have a policy for both grazing and for grain, which will be great for our winter stocker producers this next year.
So a little bit of insight into what the path forward might be. You're also kind of having your own listening sessions and programs starting in Oklahoma. What are you hearing specifically from Oklahoma producers, and what are they interested in learning more about?
Yeah, I think that these changes in crop insurance are certainly things that our Oklahoma producers are interested in. Crop insurance is well used here in Oklahoma, and it's a really valuable tool for risk management. We're also really interested in the changes to ARC and PLC, and when we're going to be able to re-elect into those programs. It looks like it's going to be later in the year than what we might have initially thought. And that's just based on the timing of this listening session and then also the additional steps that need to happen before we actually get to a sign-up date. However, it's good that producers are getting the information early on about what those changes will be, and they'll be able to make decisions later in the year.
So patience is key, continued patience. In the meantime, what about crops that are already in the ground? What do we do in this kind of interim waiting time?
And that's a great question. We may well be in a position where we're late enough in the year at signups that we may already have wheat harvest done. We just don't know yet. But producers can have the confidence that the Farm Bill is based on the 2019 to 2023 crop years. So whatever decisions they make this year will retroactively apply to the 2019 crop year. And the silver lining of that later sign-up date in this year, if there is one, is that they'll have additional information on what prices have done, and they'll have a better idea of actually which program might work better for them, ARC or PLC, at least in the 2019 crop year.
With this kind of, waiting time, will there be any gaps in coverage?
It does not appear there will be any gaps in coverage at this time, simply because the Farm Bill is really designed around certain crop years, and we had a continuation from the last Farm Bill ending with the 2018 crop year and the new Farm Bill starting with the 2019 crop year. When that Farm Bill was signed into law, we were guaranteed that those programs that have coverage in the 2019 crop year would move forward.
Now, anything that producers won't see in 2019 that they can kind of start wrapping their head around?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, because I have had some questions on the Market Facilitation Program payments, which we talked about on a previous segment last fall. That's the program that made a payment to make up for the losses associated with retaliatory tariffs in 2018. It doesn't appear that we're going to get a continuation of that program into the 2019 crop year at this time, even though we haven't had a resolution in that trade situation, particularly with China.
Okay, and more on that in the weeks ahead, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay, Amy, good to see you, and of course, keep us posted. We'll see you again soon.
All right.
Thanks a lot.